Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. As I mentioned you earlier that we have two wonderful guests joining us today, and guess what? They're here with us in the studio right now. So let's welcome Nabila Al Macki, who's the Deputy Dean for Majan University College, and Fathiya Al Sairi, who's the Finance Operations Analyst for Petroleum Development Oman. Thank you to both of you for joining in. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's our pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so I'm going to start with you, Nabila, because we'll be talking about how to prepare students for future. And before we get into the detail, I really wanted to ask you that how difficult do you think COVID-19 has been in terms of catering to students' needs?
Thank you very much, Madiha, for asking this question. COVID impacted everyone else's life. It's not just the students, even in our personal life. And we have a family member or any one of us could suffer, and we suffered from COVID. So students' experience and to cater to students' requirements, and it wasn't easy. But we responded very fast to the Supreme Committee announcement where we suspend the studies, but we did not suspend the studies. We continue our online. We moved to online teaching immediately. We trained our lecturers, we trained our students. Immediately the following day, after the announcement, we had online classes. It wasn't easy, of course, but you know, we had, from the beginning, we have this blended learning where we had the virtual environment available to students, so that it was easier for them to catch up for their studies, to see their material online, and even to do assessments online. So it wasn't new. It's only the face-to-face interaction, which was a bit difficult. The first semester, because it happened in the middle, it wasn't easy at all. It wasn't easy at all for both students and staff. But later on, we managed, alhamdulillah. The students got used to the online, and you know, students nowadays, they're all on their mobiles,
yes,
tablets, so they learn faster than us.
Yes.
And we were really worried, how would they accept those things? But they were way in front of us.
Yeah.
But then it came through the interaction, what you asked about. How would you manage the interaction? How would we enhance that? How do we support the students? So we created different facilities and different stops to support the students online. We had CRM, where they contact the students directly by phone, and we had the text messages, and we had the Move, which is the virtual environment to students, where they can send emails, they can chat with their staff, they can chat with their colleagues as well. And all the sessions are recorded for students. They can come back at any point of time. But then when it came to the classes interaction,
right,
we had different software like Kahoot. So you keep the students on their toes. So sometimes it's easier, like you have the online classes on, but they don't know whether the students are with you or not.
Right.
So what the lecturers do, they keep asking them by names, and then they play those games. So the game is part of the class. So we hope that it's not affected, and we know it will affect. It's not like a straightforward, because it is a shift and it's a new trend. And even if we go back to the normal, it will not be the normal, it will be the new normal.
Right.
So we hope things will be moving in the right direction. We don't know how, but we are learning day by day with the students, with the government, with different international organizations, and we are affiliated with the University of Bedfordshire. So it was easier for us to cooperate with different institutions internationally. And we have external examiners from different universities in UK that supported us as well to see what kind of experience that they have there. So it was easier for us to learn and to adapt as well.
Right. You know, Nabila, you rightly pointed out about the blended learning part and about the online education. So I really want to ask you, with the integration of technology and everything going on digital, how easy or challenging was it for both students and teachers to adapt to it?
See, it's not easy, but it's not difficult as well. I forgot to mention that we have different faculties and different programs. So the different programs that we have Faculty of Business Management, which has a range of programs in the management, and we have range of programs in the IT as well, and English language. So the IT students adopted faster than the business students. But also, we did not leave them behind, so we were supporting everybody. So the difficulties were there, But we managed to overcome those challenges, as I said, with the support, with the training sessions provided to students and staff as well. And we had different platforms to have online teaching. We used first GoToMeeting, and now we're using Microsoft Teams. We have e-learning department that look after what are the new trends available, what are the new software available to students. So we don't leave the students on their own, so there is always some kind of a training. So there was like training, virtual, and we have recorded videos for students to be trained as well and to look at them on their own time.
Right.
So it is difficult, but it can be managed.
Right.
Yeah.
So Fathiya, I don't want you to stay quiet for a long time, and I wanted to ask you that, in fact, COVID is still a very challenging time for everyone around the globe, not just in the Sultanate, especially when we talk about the financial aspect of it.
Yes.
And in this regard, I wanted to ask you, is there any scheme or program being developed or even talked about catering to those students whose parents are not in the position to afford their expenses?
That is a fantastic question. I don't know if you know, but I'm one of the graduates from Majan College, and I managed to graduate with first class honors, double major degree in business and accounting. And honestly speaking, with the support from Majan College as well as the company that I work for, PDO, Petroleum Development Oman, they do have schemes and they do have support classes. For example, one of the best ways that they support their students when it comes to the financial aspect is that they have installment payments. So this helps parents who are struggling financially, and it helps students as well, so that it's like it gives breakdown of the cost. They don't need to pay the whole amount in advance. They break it down in several months. And on top of that, another blessing from Majan College is the fact that they have part-time studying. One of the people who benefited a lot from the part-time studying. I used to work full-time for PDO and I studied part-time for Majan, and that was fantastic. I could never go back and change the situation. It was a blessing because I managed to graduate while I'm working and get first-class honors because of the fantastic support we get from the college as well as the company. They also have support classes and support staff, so if there is any student or any parent who are facing financial difficulty, they have one-to-one sessions where they meet parents and they meet students as well, and you can express any problems that you're having, be it financial or personal, whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Nabila, we were talking about blended learning and everything going digital. Now we're still trying to look past COVID, like you said, but do you think that due to the outbreak of COVID, it has some kind of effect or influence on students' life?
It does actually. It's not only students' life, as I mentioned, it's on everybody's life. And blended learning, it's something that uses the technology to support learning and teaching. So students' life being affected, but I would say positively, it's not negatively, because it widened their scope. It made them learn different areas and different ways to learn and to interact with their colleagues, because earlier they were sitting in a classroom when we have, for example, a group assignment.
Right.
You would know, Fathiya, a group
Definitely.
assignment is not easy.
Yeah.
So for example, if it is a group assignment, they can have it face-to-face in a classroom set or in the library. But now they have to do it in virtual environment. They have to talk to each other. They have to open rooms. So that prepares them for the future, because the future is changing, challenging. Tomorrow is not like yesterday. So there are different ways to support the students. So they are advantage. I won't say disadvantage. As we say, COVID is bad, but it came with a blessing. There is huge investment now on the technology part, and to support the students and to support anything and everything nowadays, because it's not only studying is happening online or virtual, even working from home. So that's something that will aspire and support the students in their life later when they go and work in organizations. So this is the start for them, and then we'll learn different things,
right?
And we'll have different skills as well.
Absolutely. So Nabila, this was the side of academics and learning and studies. What are the possible challenges that you think students may feel in terms of getting them practical experience, like for example on-job training, internships, etc.?
You know, one of my worries, actually not only for students, young generation, the youth nowadays, that they will not be able to have one-to-one conversation or like to have a set, like what we're having now and to talk, because they got used to sit and talk behind screen.
Right.
That's my worry, actually. And I see my nieces and nephews are like facing that they don't talk to me, but they can chat. So this is the main thing. But the curriculum, the way that we design curriculum, the way that we design assessment, forces students to make them know the practical life, how to interact with life, because they have to collect data, they have to evaluate, and then they have to prepare reports. So we bring the real life into classroom, even though it is virtual. It affected the internship because many organizations are working from home during the pandemic. But definitely with the vaccine, maybe later things will move, will change. I have no idea, but we aspire for changes. Maybe later on even internship can be done online. We don't know, like the job that we are having now.
Yes.
So it can be done. It affected the internship, it affected the job, but not Majan students only. It affected the whole community, and we are looking for something better to support the students.
Right. Fathiya, you know, talking about the financial aspect, do you have any tips or any ways that you can share with the students who would like to finance their studies or finance or be, you know, independent, especially considering the ongoing pandemic?
Oh yes, definitely. So the pandemic did affect a lot of people, as Nabila said, and I think it's best for all of us to look at the bright side. Sometimes it might be a blessing in disguise because it has taught us many ways of survival as well. So when it comes to the financial aspect, as I mentioned, working part-time. Okay, the government is very supportive, and as well as the college, Majan College, is very supportive. The internship program, which also led to permanent positions within college. So even if you go to Majan College, majority of the staff were previous students with the college. And on top of that, it being an international recognized accredited college, it's already registered with a lot of local banks in Oman. So the local banks in Oman, they provide student loans where the students can go and apply the loans with a very low interest. And all this information is available on the website, on the Majan College website. And I think that's a blessing because it's not only the government, it's not only the banks, and it's not only Majan College that's here to help the student. We all want more Omanis to graduate. We all want more Omanis to be educated so we can all build our future together. We can all build our country together. And the only way to do that is for all of us to come together. So when it comes to the financial support, there are so many ways. They can always go back to their advisors in college. There are so many ways within the college. There are so many ways within the organizations as well. So we have scholarships. Majan College offers almost 25% of the scholarship. So on their website, they can apply. We have the local scholarships from the Ministry of Higher Education as well. So that's there as well. And I'm sure that Nabila, I don't know the numbers, but Nabila can say how many students that are actually studying in Majan College through the government scholarship. So those are some of the ways financially they can be supported. But the main thing is speak up. We should never be embarrassed when you're facing a financial difficulty. Parents, students, whoever you might be, speak up. There is always ways to help you. There's nothing more important at the moment than education that's actually going to be building our country. So yeah, we need to learn to speak up.
Right. You know, Fathiya, another question for you is that you spoke about the development and you spoke about the job opportunities and part-time jobs. Lately, the government is putting in all its efforts in providing jobs to the locals and to the new talent coming up. So considering the ongoing pandemic and the hurdles that it has created, do you think the ongoing pandemic is going to hinder the recruitment process or the training process or even, you know, providing jobs for the locals?
Okay, so it is very tough with the recruiters. It has changed the way people are being recruited, the way people are being trained. But at the same time, we need to cope up with the environment. We need to cope up because this is the new norm of life right now. Everything is going virtual. And a strong recruiter will use that to their advantage. That will be their key point to start changing, to bring in new skills, okay, as well as the candidates. students, whoever, job seekers, that they're looking for jobs, they need to get used to the virtual way of applying jobs, virtual way of being interviewed, as well as working virtually. This is not only a blessing in disguise, but it has also given us a lot of opportunities, because we managed to break the geographical background blockage. At the moment, as long as you have the accessibility to work wherever around the world, that gives you option. It brings more work-life balance with the family. We have a lot of working mothers who were struggling, they could not take care of their children and work at the same time, but now it's a blessing, because they are home, they could work, and they could take care of the children. Personally, my sister managed to get a baby and continued with her education and without delay. She had another baby before the pandemic, and she had to delay a whole syllabus. But now she got a baby just recently, and she did not delay her studies. She continued with her studies, and that's where this situation becomes a blessing in disguise.
Right.
So we should always take it to our advantage, always think positive, and always look for solutions instead of just thinking what could block us, what could stop us.
Yeah, all the negative aspect of it. We should
Keep
look at the bright side here. Right.
Definitely.
Nabila, last question for you is that, that the mass vaccination campaign has already started in the Sultanate. Do you think with the rollout of vaccines, there would be some kind of ease, if not all, in the life of students and teachers both?
I think so. There will be, but we are waiting for the Supreme Committee to decide and to announce whether we'll go to face-to-face or online. But definitely the vaccine will help. People will be vaccinated, so it is easier that to come and attend the class and to meet with the lecturers, because now too many restrictions that they have to come by appointment and to have online meetings and so on. But the vaccine definitely will help, and we support both lecturers and students. For us, we had arranged to vaccinate all our lecturers, all our staff actually, academic and non-academic, and we did that. Today they are taking the second dose. So majority of our staff are vaccinated. I am vaccinated. I took both doses, and alhamdulillah, things are moving, and it will move, and it will move in the right direction. And definitely students will be happier to come back to the college, because they miss college.
Yes.
We keep receive messages from students saying, when are we going to come back? We do miss school, we miss lecturers, the interaction, the cafeteria. Right. We want to be there. We miss you. We say we miss you too, because now when we go to the college, because we go to the college, it's like haunted place sometimes, because you see the parking empty. It's not like before, because before you would remember Fathiya. It's so
struggle an hour looking for parking, and that's a blessing.
Exactly, because the part-time students, when they come, the full-time are moving and the part-time are coming in.
Hectic.
So it is hectic. Yeah. But now I wish that to come back, the craziness to come back. But I think if it is not September semester, definitely the following semester it will ease a bit, and inshallah things will move in the way that we wanted it.
We all are being extremely hopeful with the mass vaccination drive that has started in the Sultanate. And on that note, I would like to thank you for joining us and taking out time and having this wonderful conversation with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.